Hey, what up? It's Tampa Brad, back at you with law number 38 of the 48 Laws of Power. After a brief reprieve, we've been super focused on home love construction, back to do another one of these and wrap this series with fire. And this is a great law to come back on. So law number 38 is think as you like, but behave like others. Now, what this law is really about, and the keys to understanding this law, is that humans have this tendency to be really super comfortable with that with which we are familiar, and we have a huge tendency to push away that which makes us uncomfortable or that which we are not familiar with. And so that piece of human psychology and understanding that is extremely critical if you want to be a person of power or influence, or to be able to have a lot of other people like you, especially if you're doing something like running for public office or looking to be the head of a major corporation, or just being an influencer and having a lot of people listen to you. If you depart too radically from what your crowd is used to thinking and believing and their core beliefs, you will actually experience ostracism even if your ideas are completely valid. Now, a lot of my intellectual friends, I find, have a lot of trouble with this. They see things as they should be, but they don't see things as they are, and they can't bridge that gap. And what that leads to is it leads to a lot of intellectual people who are amazing people. It leads them to not have people skills and to really, again, be ostracized because they haven't figured out this key piece, is that they can think however they want. They can understand how stuff really works, but they have to act in a way to where they're not going to be ostracized or slapped around by other people, because they're challenging their world beliefs by giving this new set of world beliefs. I'll give you an example of somebody who is abiding by this law. They're very clearly thinking what they like, but behaving like others, and it's Will and Jada Smith. So I'll give you the backstory here in case you're not a pop culture person. I'm not, but this is in my purview because of my own personal beliefs on relationships and stuff like that. My phone's ringing, let me turn it off. So Will and Jada Smith, if you watch their interviews and you watch them separately and you just kind of observe their life and intuit a couple things, it is very, very clear that they have what's called an open relationship. They are legally married, they have children, they live together to some extent from what I gather. I don't know their exact living situation, but it's very clear to someone who knows what they're looking for that they have an open relationship. So they are not sexually exclusive, to be more specific. They have multiple partners, and that goes on both sides because they're intellectually free people, so to speak. Recently, some celebrity, some dude came out saying that he had an affair. Well, he's calling it an affair. If you know they have an open relationship, it's just a relationship. But he's saying he had an affair with Jada Smith however many years ago. And so what Jada and Will are having to do is Jada's having to deny it, and Will's having to come on and talk about, blah, 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 how they love each other and talk about their relationship and all that stuff. What's really going on is that they have an open relationship. They have no problem with this. This is not an issue for them. But because other people's relationships are not the same, they're super needy and dependent on each other and codependent, and can't imagine their partner being with someone else and them being okay with it because it actually doesn't harm them at all. Because that's so far out of their reality, the public backlash against Will and Jada Smith, if they were to openly admit that they're in an open relationship, would blow their careers to smithereens. They would have death threats, and I guarantee this, you can look at other examples of this. They would have death threats, they would have people campaigning on their front lawn, they would have people trespassing. I mean, they would probably be sanctioned with legal actions if I had to guess. They would get dropped by a lot of whatever brand deals and endorsements they have, and that's because they are people who broker public opinion. They're public opinion brokers. So they are paid basically for being famous. Elon Musk can somewhat circumvent this because he has a public utility. He has a utility that's specific and tangible. Not that Will and Jada Smith's is not tangible, but it's dependent on public opinion. If someone hates you and they're going to specifically boycott a movie with you in it, that doesn't work for the movie creator. If they're going to lose revenue by putting you in a movie, they don't give a shit how good of an actor you are. You are screwed. You'll never get a movie again. So because that's their family's dynamic, they have to play inside the box that other people draw for them, publicly anyways. They don't have to, they can do whatever they want in their private life, but they can't publicly admit to doing it because frankly, it would trigger too many people. A great example actually of someone who has even overcome this in some ways is Elon Musk. So Elon Musk loves to give these like, I mean, wildly outlandish statements. You know, he'll talk about how we're all gonna have Neuralink and we're all gonna be uploaded to computers. These things that are wildly divergent from what people think on their day-to-day basis. And he gets a lot of heat for it. But the only reason that Elon Musk can withstand the heat that he gets is that he's too far gone. He is actually, in ironic, no pun intended here, but he actually has left the orbit of the people who could potentially smack him down. In a lot of ways, he's gone so far in terms of his publicity and his achievements with his companies and engineering and everything that he's doing with SpaceX and Tesla, is that he's actually out of the reach to a large extent of the people who would try to do, who basically would have an issue with what he's saying. For Elon Musk, what the author says is that you need to keep your beliefs to yourself if they don't line up with other people. You need to keep them to yourself until you get to a place to where you can influence wider circles of people. Elon Musk at this point has just, I mean, hordes of devout fans and people who are just Tesla and SpaceX fanboys, myself included. I literally bought a SpaceX hoodie the other day just because it's cool. And so because he has that devout following and he has the billions of dollars from his companies and he has a pull with so many legislative people and he's, you know, had multiple hearings with Barack Obama and President Trump and stuff like that, he is at a place to where he's allowed to do that, but you most likely are not Elon Musk, so you can't do that yet. When you hold an opinion that's not just unpopular, but will completely, if someone else were to adopt that opinion, would completely blow apart and shatter the way they live their lives and the constructs that they've built up in their mind as to how they are supposed to act as a person. If you hold a belief like that, in most cases, you have to keep it to yourself. You just have to. The world is not ready, for the most part, for ideas like that. There's growing readiness for that, and people like Aaron Doughty, for example, are helping to pave the way for that and helping people to be more open-minded. But for the majority, it's not ready yet, and people still have enough ways to do things of public outcry, and if anything, that's getting, the like cancel culture is making that even more apparent. It's safer to keep it to yourself, and there's no point in cutting off your nose to spite your face. It's just pointless. So that said, that's law number 38. I hope you got a ton of value out of this. If you did, I'd love if you'd left me a comment and let me know what you thought. We're actually starting to build up this YouTube channel a little bit, so I would love a subscribe. If you're watching to this point, you're here with me, just hit the subscribe button. It really does help me a lot because it helps me know that I'm on track correctly, and YouTube helps more people see the videos when you get subscribers out of those videos. So more people will get to see this kick-ass killer info. So stay tuned for law number 39, coming at you very, very soon. Again, I appreciate your attention. Follow me on Instagram at TampaBrad. Talk to you very soon. Law number 39 coming very, 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 very soon. Stay watching. Peace.